and Eldon Campbell, and they'll have to take advantage of that here in Seattle. But a key matchup is going to be Nick Van Exel and Gary Payton, the 2-point guards.
And Van Exel controls for the Lakers, being played by Payton. Eddie Jones, who leads the NBA in steals. They go to the double immediately on Shaquille O'Neal. And Horry fires the three-pointer.
Robert Horry, 4 for his last 20 coming into his first start as a Laker.
Here's McIlvain, rejected by Campbell. And McIlvain, the free agent pickup from the Washington Bullets. Van Exel. Lakers with a 2-0 lead.
You see right away the Sonics trying to push Van Exel to the right. He's the natural lefty. He can make that shot. He's just not as effective. But Nick Van Exel likes to get himself off offensively first before he starts looking for other people.
And here's Sean Kemp. Rebounded by Eddie Jones. Lakers played on Friday night. A 114-97 win over Golden State to conclude a season-long 7-game homestand for the Lakers. Their longest homestand in some 18 years. A three-pointer for Eddie Jones.
And the Lakers are obviously ready for the Seattle double teams. They saw it back in early December. They're finding the open man.
Well, Sean Kemp with a nice move. Earlier today in the announcement that Sean Kemp and Gary Payton have made it to the West All-Star starting lineup. Off the steal, Hawkins blocked, but Payton is right there. The first shot will count, though it's a goaltend, so Hersey Hawkins will get credit.
Well, that whole Seattle fast break was set up because Van Exel trying to feed the post to Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq was not set. He didn't have position. He wasn't having eye contact with Van Exel to try to catch that ball, and the Sonics capitalize on those kind of errors.
I don't know if that was an inadvertent horn. The officials responding to it.
You're okay now, right?
Might have been a problem with the clock. As Joe DeRosa and Ed T. Rush check it out.
And 15.
The Los Angeles Lakers on the road have won 11 and lost 8. They are only one of 7 teams who have a winning record on the road. They've come up with some impressive road victories in Houston and Detroit. In New York, it was a problem with the clock, so they resumed. And here's Horry again open for the 3. So he's attempted 2 from downtown, but not able to hit. That's the major reason that he is here. He did not fit in with the Phoenix Suns, but when they double up on Shaquille, the Lakers feel that Horry will be as effective as he was as a member of those 2 championship teams for the Houston Rockets. Shot clock running down, and Shrem puts it. Kemp able to keep it alive. They get the new 24, but he did not waste any time firing. And back comes Van Exel, Payton back. So the Lakers with a 7-4 advantage.
Well, people watching the Lakers this year wonder why they don't get out and run more and get those kinds of easy baskets. They have good rebounding. They've got great shot blocking, best in the league. They got the best thief in the league in Eddie Jones, but they don't seem to run as much as they could.
And a foul against the Lakers. It's a hold on Campbell. The Seattle Sonics on Thursday night in the last game of the pond in Anaheim lost to the Clippers 102-100. The Sonics' first loss of the new year. They had won 9 straight going in.
Well, you mentioned the Lakers acquiring Robert Horry because of his ability to knock down the threes, which he did so well in Houston, but they also brought him back to be a good defender, like a guy like Detlef Schrempf, who just got a wide open jumper there. Horry is one of the best small forward defenders.
He has been an enigma, though. Foul is called. Del Harris applauding that call. At times, Robert Horry will play in Scottie Pippen-like fashion. Other times, certainly not the case. That last foul called on Kemp.
Well, this is trouble for Jim McIlvain trying to front Shaquille O'Neal. Kept moving, kept looking at the ball, had his hands ready to catch, and once he gets it in there, that's all you can do. When you're defending Shaquille O'Neal, you don't mind if he shoots the jump shots or jump hooks. You just don't want to give him lay-ins. You want to make him from the line. Shaq had an outstanding game back in early December. The 32 points, 14 rebounds, and he saw those double teams coming so well and easily picked out a lot of open shooter, 3 blocks to go along with it, and in that particular ball game, hit 2 clutch free throws coming down the stretch, which helped seal the win for Los Angeles.
Apparently a problem with the shot clock, and the officials calling over both coaches and the shot clock at the basket. The Sonics are shooting out of this first half, not operating, and now it is. Shaquille O'Neal shooting 47% at the free throw line. That is the 4th worst in the league. And has also had his difficulties at Seattle as a member of the Orlando Magic.
Actually, one of those years they played in Tacoma, but not much better. Shaq held 12 points under his average, and the poor field goal percentage as the Sonic defense certainly bothered Shaq. But so far this year, with the constant double teaming, he's just seeing it so well.
Lakers 8, the Sonics 6. We are just underway. Second half of our NBA doubleheader. The Knicks knocking off Miami earlier at Madison Square Garden in New York, 95-89. Jim McElvain, and the game is tied at 8. So Miami now a half game in front of the Knicks. O'Neal, Shaquille O'Neal with his first bucket. Lakers lead by 2. Gary Payton. Well, Doug Collins will be coaching the East All-Stars. That was on the line for Pat Riley today. Needed a victory. Nice move by Van Exel, and the Lakers now lead by 4.
Hey, congratulations to Doug. He has played in a few All-Star games himself, so he knows what it's like from a playing standpoint.
And Sean Kemp draws the foul. Foul on Campbell. That's quick 2 on Eldon Campbell.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal, seeing that double team coming, makes the quick, hard move to the baseline. And if you're Jim McElvain, you'll live with that shot all afternoon. Not that Shaq has not improved on it or improved on his jump hook. You just rather see him take shots rather than power to the basket, get dunks, get lay-ins, and get fouls on your big people. You want to try to save your fouls if you're playing against Shaq for late in the game to try to put him on the line there.
Travis Knight coming on for Eldon Campbell. Travis Knight, 7-foot rookie out of Connecticut, a first-round draft pick who has done a nice job the other night. 28 minutes, 7 of 10, 16 points, 15 rebounds in the game against Golden State.
The former first-round draft choice of Chicago, who did not want to sign him.
Right, they renounced his rights and then signed by the Lakers as a free agent. And here's O'Neal going around with a scoop on McElvain. And batted out of bounds by Hawkins.
I say did not want to sign him. Actually, they wanted him to go to Europe for a couple or maybe 3 years and develop over there before they would be ready to sign him then. But Travis Knight didn't want to hear anything about that. He wanted to play in the league now, and he's really stepped up for the Lakers.
Off the back tap, Knight got it to Ori. Here's Jones for 3. Van Exel able to rescue it. Both clubs pumping up the shots. Nick Van Exel off to the good start. He has 8, and the Lakers lead 14-9. Here's Gary Payton with a wild shot rejected by O'Neal.
And on that last sequence by the Lakers at the offensive end, give Travis Knight a lot of credit. He was the one who got a hand on those balls and knocked them loose to create another shot.
5 minutes into the first quarter.
Next up, a very special item for the man.
Do you want to smell like me?
George Mirasan Cologne.
Hey, who wouldn't want to smell like you, George? I know I would. Makes a great gift item.
I'm waiting for your call.
Our operators are standing by.
Not going anywhere for a while?
Is that cabbage, George?
Yeah, chicks dig it.
Grab a Snickers.
Call now.
A cool, crisp 32-degree day in the Pacific Northwest. Marv Albert with Matt Gukas. Later on, we'll be joined by John Dockery filling in for Ahmad Rashad. Well, Matt, I'd have to say here in the early going, neither club having much regard for that 24-second clock.
Well, that's Seattle's style. They want to play a helter-skelter brand of basketball, get up and down. The Lakers want to run when they can, but they also want to punch it in to Shaquille O'Neal. Nick Van Exel, as we said earlier, likes to get himself off offensively. He's done it. I expect the Sonics to start posting up Gary Payton before too long. Oh, like right there.
And a kickball. Leg block is called. They'll get the new 24. Van Exel has come out firing 4 out of 5. He has 8 points. As you saw, Payton 1 of 3 from the field. Lakers already have attempted 5 threes. They're 1 for 5 from downtown. Nice move by Payton.
He's so good off the dribble with his spin. Sometimes he gets away with a little hook, but he's a wiry guy, but very strong at 6'4" and can overpower Van Exel, not only in the post, but with one-on-one drives like that.
Lakers by 3. Van Exel with the open shot. This is the byproduct of the double team on O'Neal. Van Exel with the save. And Jones will reset. Jones and Van Exel in the backcourt. O'Neal up front with Ori and Knight. Here's Jones. Knight had it stripped. Kemp to the floor trying to protect it, but it will be a jump ball.
Well, the Lakers have had the best of it as far as coming up with loose balls, out-quicking a very quick defensive team in Seattle. And all season long, a big problem for the Sonics has been rebounding. And so far, Travis Knight has come in and knocked 3 offensive rebounds loose for his teammates.
Travis Knight, a rookie from Connecticut, an academic All-American like yourself, as a senior. And Schrempf controlling the tip. Met by Ori. Mercy Hawkins off the pick. McElvain with a hard screen on Jones. Nice ball movement. Hawkins for 3. Kemp. Kemp tried the reverse English, could not get it up. McElvain not able to hit. McElvain with the rebound. The save by Hawkins. And Payton finds Schrempf. Schrempf on the fake pass. Blocked by O'Neal. What a sequence. And a foul is called. Beautiful passing. And the Sonics, who have not been a good rebounding club, able to control the glass.
Well, it was the Lakers who were the aggressive team in the early going. The Sonics starting to wake up right now. They were very active on this sequence. Shawn Kemp, of course, so powerful and explosive in and around the offensive board. But McElvain getting in there to knock a couple looses. They're starting to wake up.
And the crowd responding to Jim McElvain, who has certainly heard the criticism when you look at the numbers that he has posted. He's played about 19 minutes per game. Shooting only 46% at the foul line to add to the mix. Signed as a free agent, a 7-year, $33 million deal, which raised some eyebrows after 2 seasons with the Bullets, where he played less than 15 minutes per game.
And management is quick to point out they didn't bring him to score as Eddie Jones knocks down a 3. They didn't bring McElvain in here for scoring. They want his shot blocking and defense inside.
Foul is called. Ori on the double team coming over to help out, and Kemp was hit. Foul was on Knight. So Shawn Kemp back to the free throw line. Shawn Kemp playing with a tender ankle, says he's all right. Now, Matt, he's been taking the three-point shot more frequently, working on the shot more often in practice, although George Karl would like to see Shawn make, as he puts it, judicious decisions. And as you can see, his scoring average has gone up every season for 7 straight. In fact, has continued right here. He's having his best season as a member of the Sonics.
Well, he has a good argument with George Karl so far. 9 for 20 coming into this ballgame from beyond the arc.
Shot clock at 5. O'Neal. He was played tough by McElvain.
That time he didn't really get the help. Able to hold his ground and keep his body in front of the on-charging Shaquille O'Neal.
Beautiful pass from Schrempf. And then from Payton, but Hawkins could not convert.
I think Hersey was hearing footsteps there. He knew he was in the land of the Giants, thought he was in trouble, didn't realize how open he was.
And Nick Van Exel continuing the hot shooting. He has 10 points. Can't be able to save it. Payton for the open three. And O'Neal with the rebound. Jones on the run, but the Sonics get back. Here's Eddie Jones. Yes.
Del Harris over there clapping his hands, congratulating Eddie. He wants his team to run, but that was a 1-on-3 jump shot. It's only a good shot if it goes in.
The Laker backcourt has combined for 18 points with just under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. 7-point Laker lead. Hawkins fouled, and that's number 2 on Shaquille.
Well, Nick Van Exel red hot, 5 for 7 from the field already. He knew he was going to have to come out and play an exceptional game against one of the best point guards in the business, Gary Payton, and he's got off to a great start. There's that 1-on-3 fast break by Eddie Jones, who did not hesitate ever at all, as Del Harris said, that's what I'm talking about. Let's fast break and pull up and take that jumper.
Hersey Hawkins, one of the better foul shooters in the NBA. He's at 87% from the line. And now Jerome Kersey, who had been in the starting lineup, checking in, coming on for Shaquille O'Neal, off to a slow start, only 1 of 4 from the field, and he picked up his second foul just a moment ago.
So where you would think the Lakers would have the advantage inside with Shaquille O'Neal and Eldon Campbell both sitting on the bench with 2 personal fouls, makes the Lakers very small right now, but with Sam Perkins in the game, a guy that can stretch your defense by parking outside that 3-point line, somebody big guy's going to have to go out there and watch him.
The Lakers lead 21-16. Marv Albert with Matt Dukas from the Key Arena in Seattle. 3.5 left in this first quarter. Horry posting up. I try to save it. Can't be able to get to it. Here's Payton setting up on Van Exel. Payton. Oh, what a move. Gary Payton spinning his way to bring the Sonics within 3.
And Nick Van Exel is barking at referee Sean Corbett on the baseline, saying that Payton hooked him and held him as he was able to beat him off the dribble and get into the lane. Gary Payton does it so well and so quickly, sometimes it's hard to pick up.
Exel try to go baseline. They met on a switch by Sam Perkins, who just checked in. Off the steal. It is deflected out of bounds. There was a 24-second violation, so the Sonics will take over. Timeout called as you take another look at the gorgeous move by Gary Payton.
Well, Sean Kemp has been bothered by a sore ankle, and on a number of his shot attempts in this first quarter has looked like he does not have his legs under him. He has improved with his perimeter jump shot, but just not getting any lift as you see those balls hit the front of the rim, and then on an opportunity inside, granted some big people around him, but didn't get that normal explosion that Sean Kemp gets around the basket.
Sean Kemp, who has emerged as a bona fide superstar during last year's playoffs, certainly Seattle's most valuable player in that NBA Finals series against the Chicago Bulls. The Lakers have led by as many as 7. They now lead by 3, 2.5 remaining in this first quarter. Payton, Jones got a piece of it.
Gary Payton really struggling with his shot from the outside, rushing it a bit. He wants to drive. Eddie Jones did a good job that time of cutting off the penetration.
Eddie Jones. Oh, Horry with the tip, able to sweep it down for his first field goal, and the Lakers now lead by 5. Nice pass, Hawkins. Payton is now 2 for 7, and then a bit too aggressive. Called for the foul.
Robert Ory, normally hanging on the perimeter, has missed his outsides here. They even ran a post-up for him a few possessions ago. But Robert Ory working to try to get some kind of scoring going for the Lakers, just flying through the air, timing that beautifully to finish off the offensive rebound and dunk.
These two clubs with records of 30 and 12. It is a tip short by Jones, and a jump ball is called. For the Lakers, it's their best start since the 1991 season when they went 30 and 11.
Well, Nick Van Exel going to let fly with a three-pointer here, and Eddie Jones, actually illegal interference, I should say, offensive interference on that play, and Nick Van Exel a little upset with Eddie for touching that ball up there. However, it was going to be short all the way.
Eddie Jones, who can leap going against Hersey Hawkins, controlled by Robert Ory. And a pushing foul. Terry Cummings, who came in just a moment ago, only his sixth game as a member of the Sonics, signed as a free agent 2 weeks ago, signed for the NBA minimum wage for the rest of the year, which could be an excellent $136,000 investment on the part of the Sonics.
Well, George Karl brought him in. Terry Cummings scored 18,000 points in his career, almost 8,000 rebounds, knows how to play, has been in playoff wars, and a couple of other factors down the road. He has played Charles Barkley in playoff settings and was a teammate of Dennis Rodman's in San Antonio, and a little bit upset with the way things ended there in San Antonio. And Dennis Rodman maybe holding a little grudge is Terry Cummings.
Terry Cummings, 35 years old, in his 15th NBA season. 6-point Laker lead, minute and a half remaining in this first quarter, and Cummings able to hit on his first attempt. So the Lakers now lead by 4. Matt, I know you have been an aficionado of the angles that NBC's cameramen have been able to bring you, as Knight is able to stuff it from Skycam, and I know you were trying to tinker with it the other day, and we have some technical difficulties. Oh, Knight with no technical difficulties right there on the rejection, and it's put home by Ory. It has been a dunk festival up and down the court the last 30 seconds. Lakers now lead 28-20. In effect, no Skycam here this afternoon.
I knew you were trying to get it something.
I was getting to it. Stewart was blocked. Ory fires down, and here's Kersey running the floor.
If you want to make a highlight tape of a guy that does not have a particular amount of talent, raw talent, but Travis Knight has a lot of heart and a lot of hustle. He's done a fabulous job for the Lakers in this first quarter, just with hustle plays.
Perkins had it stolen by the NBA's leader in steals, and a foul is called. Foul against the Sonics. It's on Perkins.
Jerome Kersey, who lost his starting job today, much more comfortable coming off the bench, a good defensive player. And Robert Ory here and Travis Knight surrounding the Seattle player inside. And look at the save by Travis Knight as he is all over the place, knocking balls loose and creating good scoring opportunities for Los Angeles.
Sonics over the foul limit. Lakers with a 6-0 run and counting. This has been shades of Pat Riley's Showtime from the Lakers of the late 80s, early 90s. They have been running the floor effectively. Derek Fisher has checked in for the first time, rookie from Arkansas Little Rock. Kobe Bryant had moved by Fisher into the backup point guard spot, but Fisher has come on first. 15 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and the Lakers with a 32-20 lead. Detlef Schrempf, and a holding foul against the Lakers. It is on Kersey.
And now here comes Kobe Bryant into the ballgame, replacing Eddie Jones, and that'll put Kobe at the shooting guard spot as Del Harris trying to get more minutes for Kobe, using him as the backup point guard to back up Eddie Jones some, and also to play some small forward. They just want to get this young man out on the floor at 18 years of age, let him get through his mistakes and blossom as quickly as possible.
And he has been showing some signs recently. The other night against Golden State, 25 minutes, 17 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. Here's the Matt Lucas scouting rundown on Kobe.
Glean from around the league. He does have a lightning quick first step and will always try to make the spectacular play. And as you would expect from any rookie, let alone an 18-year-old one, the defense is going to be a little bit shaky.
10-point Laker lead, 5 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Fisher. So after one, with the Laker backcourt lighting up the Sonic backcourt, Lakers with a 32-22 lead. Van Exel with 10 points. Eddie Jones with 11. Lakers trying to make it 2 out of 2 against the Sonics this season. We'll be back in Seattle in a moment.
This here freight train, he Pablo, me, I'm Motif. There's only one drink fat enough to quench our thirst, and that's Turbo Sport 7.
God, genius! The can's upside down.
Don't talk to me like a child. I played Hamlet at Cambridge.
Once again, you've ruined my concentration.
Excuse me. What's my motivation?
When you're thirsty, trust your gut, not some actor.
That's it. I am going to my trailer.
Welcome back to Seattle. I'm John Dockery, and let me just tell you about what happened before the game. You wonder what players do before a game? Well, there was no watching football on this Super Bowl Sunday, but rather the Sonics had their game faces on, and they were still in school as they watched tape of the Lakers and Golden State. Meantime, the Lakers were over in their locker room. They were a little more relaxed, and they were watching the Knicks in Miami. But both coaches talked about the key to this game, playoff-type intensity. And Del Harris says he's going to find out how good his team is, see if they can win in a hostile, loud environment, Marv.
All right, thank you, John. As we mentioned earlier, the second quarter is underway. As we mentioned, Ahmad Rashad is on assignment, actually in China, doing a special on global basketball. And Matt, I'm told by Ahmad that he's receiving an honorary degree from Beijing University.
Anymore, Ahmad won't even leave the house unless he's going to get some kind of...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Cummings, off the fake, gives it up. Sam Perkins, who has been hitting the three. Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant in the backcourt. Ron Kersey up front with Travis Knight and Shaquille O'Neal. So Shaq back on the floor. He has 2 fouls. Not able to get going to this point. Only 1 of 4 from the field. Here's Bryant off the hesitation dribble. Shot clock is down to 2. Fisher rebounded by Knight. That's his 7th rebound and a foul call.
Somebody better put a blanket over this guy. He is unstoppable as far as getting to loose balls. And even if he doesn't have great position, he still gets a hand on it. Nobody put a body on him that time as he just got easily. He took a shot across the face, however, in the process. Shaquille O'Neal is not really moving enough to get position. This time he flashes across the lane, but either have to set some screen across action for him or he has to burrow in there and demand the ball. But he's got to be very careful right now with those 2 personal fouls. He will lose some of his aggressiveness.
And the 6'9" Terry Cummings now defending against Shaquille O'Neal. 15 gone by in the second quarter. Lakers lead by 10. Here's O'Neal. And Shaquille with no problem shooting over Cummings.
And that was an aggressive move. He didn't have the best position in the world, but he swung those arms right into the face of Terry Cummings.
Perkins played by Knight. Sam Perkins. Sam, a former Laker, spent 2+ years with the Lakers and then traded to Seattle in that deal involving Benoit Benjamin and Doug Christie. Wingate pops it down to Shrek. So the fast break bucket by the Sonics to bring them within 8.
All set up by a terrible shot by Jerome Kersey. It made no sense. They got to pound the ball inside, establish an inside game.
O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal now able to bull his way, and the Lakers lead 36-26. Cummings. Good box out by Knight to keep Perkins away. It allowed Kersey to get to the rebound.
Knight has done everything right. The only mistake, if you will, was when Sam Perkins just schooled him inside for an easy lay-in.
A three for Fisher. Derek Fisher, first-round draft pick, one of 3 rookies on the Laker roster. This guy a true point guard, but has the good outside touch. 13-point Laker lead. We were discussing earlier on the pregame, despite the fact that the Sonics have played well, it's Cummings. They have won 9 of the last 10. The major concern is beating the so-called elite teams, 0-5 against the better teams out of the West. They lost the earlier matchup with the Lakers. They lost twice to the Rockets, twice to the Jazz. Kobe Bryant for 3, and the Lakers are on fire.
Well, they are letting the threes fly. Kobe Bryant, a good three-point shooter at 37%, not afraid to let it go, and that sets up his driving game. But you like to get those three-pointers when they start inside, some kind of penetration or a post feed, and then kick it back out after the defense collapse. Here, David Wingate just makes a mistake, knotting me up tight enough on Kobe Bryant.
Rockets Magic or Hornets Knicks, then Bulls Sonics next Sunday on NBC.
Oh, yeah, that brother can play the
have a
flute.
Super Bowl party. We're definitely going to have to cut that guest
That's
list.
right. We got to make some cuts. First up, Tara Banks. I know she's in. Michael Johnson. My man. Tiger Woods. Lisa Leslie. George Gervin. Ken Clifford Jr. Barry Sanders. Cy Richardson. You know, he played the sergeant in double action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's in.
The man's a thespian. And last on the list, Charles Barkley. Dear Charles, my dog ate the phone book.
Back in Seattle on the Super Sunday. Well, Matt, the Lakers are up by, 2 touchdowns. Off to the 42-28 lead. And on this Super Bowl Sunday, there is an exotic wagering possibility. There are some who would match as Cummings blows the layup. The Green Bay Packers outscoring Shaquille O'Neal. The Packers picked to score 6 points more than Shaq. Let's see, Shaq off to the slow start with 7 points, but the Lakers continue the hot shooting. Kobe Bryant now has 5, and the Lakers now lead 44-28. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
Shaq is trying to get involved with the Sonics defense, collapsing and double teaming around him, and that's why all the open three-point shots for Los Angeles.
And here's Kemp.
Every one of his shots has hit the front rim, showing that he does just not have his legs yet this afternoon.
And the Sonics 10 of 30 from the field. Shaquille O'Neal. The Lakers 19 of 36 shooting.
Well, Terry Cummings had an opportunity to try to foul Shaq there, but Shaq on that quick spin, he just never got a chance to grab it.
And left Schrempf able to split his way through. So 9 points for Schrempf, and the Lakers now lead by 16. The Los Angeles Lakers have won 11 of their last 14 games. A couple of road games coming up following today at Dallas and then at San Antonio for the Lakers. Foul is called on Kemp. That is his second.
Well, Shaq is looking for any opportunity he can to try to score, and he knows he has to do it around the basket. Makes a good, quick, hard move on the give-and-go catch here. You saw the weak effort by Terry Cummings to try to foul as Shaq just spun so hard on him. No way he could grab him, and a smart one not to foul him at that point and give the three-point play. And now Shaq just going across the lane as Shawn Kemp picks up his second foul. You don't want to commit those kind of fouls, especially Shawn Kemp, who has the foul-prone problem.
And Shaquille has turned things around, as you saw in the second quarter. Van Exel with a nice move off glass. Nick Van Exel has 12. Gary Payton sitting down. And Eric Snow, the second-year player from Michigan State, has come on for the first time. Foul against the Lakers with 6:42 to go in this first half.
Next Saturday, college basketball returns to NBC. John Thompson leads his Georgetown Hoyas against the St. John's Red Storm. Next Saturday at 4 Eastern on NBC.
Robert Horry playing his 6th game as a LA Laker, acquired from the Phoenix Suns, had that much publicized towel throwing incident with Phoenix Suns head coach Danny Ainge, and we talked about that with Robert.
So you got to realize who your coach is. You know, you're so used to playing against Danny Ainge, and all of a sudden he's your coach, and you think about from the playoffs when he hit Mario in the face with the ball and all this stuff, and all of a sudden, you know, things happen so fast that you don't even realize what you're doing, and the next thing I know, I'm throwing a towel in his face and going to sit down, and I'm like, uh-oh. That was my head coach. That wasn't a player, you know, it was my head coach. So, you know, I'm very sorry for it. And I apologize to him. I apologize to everybody on the Sun staff. And, you know, it's just a situation where you learn from, you make mistakes, and it's just up to the media to let it go and up to everybody else who's seen it to let it go, because it really wasn't that bad of an incident. It's just a little towel thrown in the face, and I didn't throw it that hard.
I get it, Matt. He was just coming up with a late payback as Horry hits the 3 for the Mario Elie incident. That's why he threw the towel in Danny Ainge's face.
Oh, well, the big surprise was the way Robert was playing at that time for the Suns is that he hit him.
Oh, Matt.
I'm sorry.
But in talking with Robert Horry, obviously very apologetic and does not want to be remembered for that incident. This is what he'd like people to be talking about, hitting the three-point shot.
One of the big reasons why he came and what he did so well in those championship years with Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets, knocking that 3 down, playing the defense, and we've seen him go to the basket a couple of times here, which is something they always tried to get him to do, and Houston never really feels comfortable with it, but looks like they're going to post him up a little bit here. Last year, you saw the big minutes that he would get in Houston. Never a big scorer, and you're not going to get that from him. You're going to get a well-rounded game from Robert Horry when he's at his best.
Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Perkins for 3, air ball, rescued by Kemp. Finding Perkins. Lakers 51, Sonics 32 again. The Lakers get down in a hurry. Bryant's pass picked off. Snow with Hawkins on the far side goes the other way. Perkins again for 3. Well, the Sonics are hoping that Perkins can get them going. Last week against Toronto, Sam Perkins hit every shot he attempted. 8 of 8 from three-point range to tie the NBA record that was held by Jeff Hornacek. 5-0 run by Seattle. Bryant with the bad pass, the steal by Snow, and it leads to this. Sam Perkins from downtown. Timeout called by the Lakers with 5:09 left. First half. A reminder, next Sunday, NBA Showtime returns at 12:30 Eastern Time, leading up to a big doubleheader. In Game 1, we'll have regional action as the Houston Rockets will travel to the Magic Kingdom, taking on the Magic, or the Hornets and the New York Knicks. Check your local listings for the game in your area, and then a rematch of the 1996 NBA Finals. Michael Jordan and the Bulls will travel to Seattle, taking on Shawn Kemp. And the Sonics will be back here at the Key Arena in Seattle next Sunday.
And coming up on Tuesday night on TNT, it'll be the Detroit Pistons and Milwaukee Bucks as All-Star coach Doug Collins taking his team into the Bradley Center.
And the Bucks with a victory over the Indiana Pacers last night. 16-point Laker lead. They've led by as many as 21. Van Exel for 3. Van Exel has 15. Lakers have hit 9 of 11 from the field in the second quarter.
Marty, you can feel this crowd trying to get into it as Hershey Hawkins knocks down a 3. And a little 5-point run, crowd starting to get interested. Van Exel makes a 3 to quiet them, but the Sonics are going to have to do it at the defensive end, start forcing some turnovers and some tough shots. Oh, Eddie Jones got away with a double dribble.
Here's Van Exel for 3 again, that time too strong. Snow feeding Shrimp. So the Laker lead is now 14.
And I don't know if there's a louder building in the NBA when this one gets going. We experienced this last year in the finals against Chicago. They are murder here.
Horry pitching out to Van Exel. Shot clock at 6. Horry. The Laker phenomenal shooting continues. 23 of 41, 58% from the field. Lakers lead 56 to 40. Here's Schrempf, rejected by Knight. Recovered by Hawkins. Crowd wanted a foul on Travis Knight. Gary Payton getting set to return. Eric Snow has been getting some playing time here in the second quarter. Schrempf puts the move on. Jones is called for the hooking foul.
Well, Robert Horry, more known for his spot-up three-point shooting, also this time makes a nice little draw and kick play, but then spots up back behind the three-point line, gets the defender to come at him, and makes one of his rare jump shots off the dribble.
6th block shot by the Lakers, who lead the NBA, averaging 7 per game. Shaquille O'Neal has 2 of those 6 blocks. Lakers have come up with 10-plus rejections 4 of the last 5 games. We are approaching 3 minutes remaining in the half. Hawkins lost it. And another tie-up. That's our 3rd jump ball of this first half. As I said, the Lakers on top, averaging 7.5 blocks per game. Shaquille O'Neal is 3rd in block shots. He's about 3 per game.
And one of the helpers in that area, Eldon Campbell, who started in this ballgame, picked up 2 quick fouls, has gone to the bench, never to be heard from again so far. The Lakers are not really happy with the way Eldon Campbell is playing right now. And they get much more energy and enthusiasm from that man, Del Harris. But Travis Knight has done such a good job. He's keeping Campbell on the bench.
Crowd reacting to the hustle by the Sonics. And now a technical foul on Van Exel. Something was said that upset Ed Rush. And now Nick, in a very calm fashion, is trying to get an explanation, but Ed Rush, red in the face, looking very upset.
And Nick is keeping it up, telling Ed Rush what he thinks about that call. Here's that play over deep in the left corner as Travis Knight, who has gone for every loose ball, and Detlef Schrempf appeared to knock that ball right off Travis Knight, so I don't understand the argument on the call.
Well, I think Van Exel felt that Schrempf was guilty of pushing and there was no foul call. Now Van Exel is called for a personal foul and plays to the crowd. 3 minutes to go, first half. Lakers lead 56-41. Payton backing Van Exel. Crowd would love to see him score on Van Exel. Beautiful feed. Kemp could not put it down. And they get the new 24. Payton head on a switch. Payton took a good shot and fouled by Horry. And that one count. That was a knockout blow.
Robert Horry working extremely hard defensively. Overmatched inside right now by Kemp, and he's getting spun around on the top. Actually got shoved a little by Kemp to knock him into the middle and bang in to Gary Payton, who is stunned on the play. Maybe that'll knock him out of his reverie right now, as he's having a difficult time getting it going offensively, and he is just crucial for the Sonics. Not that Gary Payton has to score a lot of points. Now, he does average 22 a game for Seattle. He does so many different things. He has to distribute the ball. He's got to post up. He's got to draw the defense. He's got to get good shots for his teammates.
Well, he may have been effective because Nick Van Exel came out firing and hitting. Sonics, though, showing some signs. They have that lead down to 13. They've trailed by as many as 21. Jones delivering to O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal picking it up. in the second quarter. He now has 11 points in all. He's been perfect in the second quarter, hitting all 4 shot attempts. Perkins won't count. It is an offensive foul.
And another outstanding defensive play by Robert Horry to take that position. We talked a little bit about Sam Perkins, who's known for the outside shot, can post up. We call him a sneaky driver. It's not real quick, it's not real fast, and once he gets going in one direction, he's going to go that way. Even though Robert Horry failed a little on the play, it's still a good call.
Perkins giving a lift to the Sonics, 7 points in the second quarter. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the second. Jones, fadeaway shot by Eddie Jones. He has 13, and the Lakers lead 60-43. Kemp, and he is fouled. In a very quiet first half for Shawn Kemp, 1 of 6 from the field. Travis Knight collecting his 3rd personal, and Kemp will go to the line. The most points allowed in a half by Seattle this year. On 2 occasions, they gave up 62. The Lakers with 60 points at 1:39 remaining in the half.
Well, they give up 94 on average, and to score 60 points and a half on Seattle anytime is absolutely amazing. Now, granted, a lot of 3-point shots by LA, a lot of tough shots, but this is against a very good defensive team. But the big problem for Seattle right now is they're not playing very good offense. They're not getting the ball inside to Payton or Kemp, and when they do get it into Kemp, he's been unable to finish in strong fashion, and that's letting the Lakers get out and get some running going as Shaquille O'Neal will come to the bench as Del Harris in this last minute 39 try to protect Shaq with those 2 personal fouls, and the seldom used Sean Rooks replaces.
Rooks in his 5th year out of Arizona, getting some time late in this first half. 15-point Laker lead. Horry setting the screen. Van Exel for 3. And Trent with the rebound. Trent bothered from behind by Horry. Fires the reverse and was fouled. So Detlef Schrempf to the line. Sean Rooks called for the personal. That is his first.
Detlef Schrempf to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Detlef 3 of 4 at the line. Detlef Schrempf from the University of Washington played his college ball locally. Originally came to Seattle to attend high school, and we look forward to the M. Gucas scouting report on Detlef.
Well, adjust to a defender is if he's got a big guy on him, he'll drive him to the basket. A smaller man, he'll take him inside. Likes to put it on the floor going to his left. Likes to find his teammate. Now, you can exploit him defensively. He has some trouble individually. He's an outstanding team defender. But Detlef Schrempf is a very solid performer for Seattle to go along with Kemp and Payton.
And you recommend that we test his outside shot?
Well, you'd rather do that than him getting into the lane.
Well, Rooks gets into the lane. That's his first field goal. Lakers 62 and the Sonics 46. So that matches the most points scored in a half this season against Seattle.
Bad things happen when good offensive players get inside like that.
Yes, and it counts. So Payton will go to the line.
Well, Seattle normally defends situations very well. Terrible job here on the pick-and-roll defense as Perkins not quick enough to get back. Kemp doesn't rotate, but Gary Payton on that left wing can drive either to the middle, as he did there. He can spin on you and take it to the baseline. And when he gets in there, he has the strength to finish and the ability to find open people.
Foul committed by Rooks. His second, 45 seconds remaining first half. Payton completing the 3-point play, and the Sonics are down by 13. Some light pressure from Hawkins, then he drops back. 22nd timeout called by Del Harris. The Lakers in the second quarter have hit 13 of 17 from the field. 76% free throw shooting. Shaquille O'Neal turning things around in the second quarter, hitting all 4 shots. Shaq coming over from the Orlando Magic, signing as a free agent, and says as a youngster, always wanted to be a Los Angeles Laker. We talked about that with him yesterday.
I had this friend, who was a white guy. His name was Mitch Riles. He was always Larry Bird, and I was always Magic Johnson. And we used to go at it. He used to win, we used to fight. I used to win, we used to fight. This was around when I was 10, 11, 12. We used to go at it. Magic Johnson was always my favorite player. You know, as a kid, you know, growing up, I always used to say to myself, one day I'm going to play for the Lakers. I don't even know if I was serious or not, but I said it. And it was part of my dreams. This summer, I got the opportunity, to change, to do something good, and I took advantage of the opportunity.
Well, back in those early 80s and mid-80s, it seemed like Larry and Magic were the only two you saw every weekend on television. Everybody admired how they played. It's funny, nobody could play like those guys. Just everybody wanted to be like them. And I don't think I've seen too many people try to play like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. It's probably impossible. There you saw why they were seen so much on television every weekend, not only during the regular season, but those fabulous final series that the Los Angeles Lakers and Boston Celtics engaged in.
Illegal defense, and even though it's the first violation and that there are less than 24 seconds remaining in this half, it is a technical foul, and Hersey Hawkins very upset with himself. He is an excellent free throw shooter at 87%. 62-49 Lakers. They have killed the Sonics off the boards, and they have been on fire from the field. They've out-rebounded Seattle 25-14, led by Shaquille, who has 11. And the Sonics are working the clock down for a final shot. Nice pass. Final seconds of the half. Van Exel wheeling for the shot, able to get it on, but too late. Payton did a terrific job on Van Exel. The glove was at his best in that sequence, not allowing the angle. So the Sonics, who have trailed by as many as 21, have cut it to 11. Van Exel 7 of 13 overall, 15 points, and O'Neal with a good second quarter to finish with 11. Coming up, the Prudential halftime report after these words.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential, bringing strength and stability to America's families through insurance, healthcare, real estate, and financial services.
Halftime in Seattle, the Lakers looking good and leading the Sonics 62-51. Bob Costas back in New York with Peter Bessie and Julius Erving, and as always, we'll get to them in just a bit. But first, a team and a player not getting much national attention these days, Kevin Garnett and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota has taken a big step forward this year from perennial 60-loss doormat to a respectable team actually contending for a playoff berth. Tom Gugliotta is the T-Wolves' best player right now, a legitimate all-star candidate. But Kevin Garnett seems to have even greater potential. Earlier this week, Julius caught up with Garnett, and before sitting down to talk, our hustler loosened up the 20-year-old with a quick game of pool.
The first thing to do is to pick out a cue.
Ball to stick with you, right?
Then the next thing you do is to chalk up here. And the idea is to hit the white ball into that pack and break them all up.
Eddie Murphy went to my high school. Let's go run about 7, 8.
Nah, man. Hey, let's turn these cameras off. Hey, dog, we on it.
Let me hear you define what you mean by your love of the game.
I think everybody should go back to when they started playing basketball. Thinking about when they didn't play it for money or for girls or for the show or for how people saw them. I'm trying to get myself together in the classroom. I've set up myself in the University of Minnesota corresponding courses, and I'm very proud to say that because it really wasn't what the media was saying about me. It was like myself, rather, I know myself better than anybody. People was questioning my, almost like my mental game more than my basketball game.
Who within the Timberwolves organization has taken you under their wing?
Our question is Kevin McHale. It's almost like having, you there, another great player there, he knows what it's like to be a player, everything from hitting the wall to having bad nights to having great nights. I think Kev is really concentrating on just making us leaders.
So some of the conversation coming from
Charles and Dennis and Karl Malone about, you know, the young players need an attitude adjustment because they don't listen, they can't be talking about you because you're listening to a former veteran player every day.
You know, Mr. Irving, they built this, you know, we're just sliding in their slots, you know, as they going out, so to speak. You know, if it weren't for guys like Michael Jordan, yourself, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Kareem, I mean, we wouldn't be nothing. You know, we wouldn't have no vision. Before y'all, you know, before y'all was Wilton, Elgin Baylor, and all those guys. So I think as older guys think young guys disrespect the game, I think that'd be absurd because, you know, it's almost like, you know, we're watching them trying to figure out where we want to be in life and where we want to be in this league.
All right, who do you respect the most?
I think I respect Charles Barkley the most. Because he's always going to tell you how it is. He really cares about the future of the league and the guys that's coming in and out of it, too.
Who do you fear the most?
Who do I fear? I fear no one.
Is there like a timetable there for becoming an all-star caliber player, an all-pro?
I never put single goals in front of team goals, you know, personal goals. You know,
you got them now. Come on, fess up.
Well, I got them deep down, you know, but I would rather make the playoffs and be a real positive, strong playoff contender than an all-star.
Seems like a nice young man, Kevin Garnett, and technically, Doc, he's playing your old position, small forward.
Yeah, and he's 7 feet tall. Amazing. Bob, I tell you, I predict that going into the 21st century, he's going to completely redefine how we think of the small forward position. Kevin was a delight to talk to. He's very mature beyond his years. And Kevin, whenever you want a rematch in pool, you got it.
Yeah, you may be able to handle him, but let's see how you do against Ralph Cramden or Ed Norton. Meanwhile, on the basketball court, this kid Garnett has come on like gangbusters.
Absolutely, Bob. If Tom Gugliotta is to be the Timberwolves' first All-Star, then Kevin Garnett, alias Minnesota Slim, is going to be the team's first Hall of Famer. And it's like I've always said, Bob, it's imperative for the NBA to get these kids before they're contaminated by college.
The Vesey point of view. Going to shift gears when we come back after the commercial, and we'll bring you the story of Carlos Rogers of the Toronto Raptors. But prior to that, a message from Prudential and a word from the NBA. Welcome back. Earlier this week, NBA fans learned a little bit about Carlos Rogers of the Toronto Raptors. Not about his game on the court, but something about Rogers himself. Rogers' older sister, Renee, was gravely ill in a Detroit hospital from a blood infection related to a kidney transplant. Rogers expressed his willingness to donate one of his kidneys to his sister, even if it might jeopardize his basketball career. He left the team on Thursday to join his family at a bedside vigil. Renee had taken a turn for the worse, and as it turned out, she wasn't strong enough to receive a new kidney. And on Friday afternoon, she passed away.
My sister fought a long and hard battle, and I'm a true believer that God will never give you anything that you can't handle. So he did what was best for my sister and the family as well.
Carlos Rogers of the Toronto Raptors. Now let's take a look at the NBA scoreboard in New York. Earlier this afternoon, the Knicks beat the Miami Heat 95-89. If Miami had won, Pat Riley would have had the honor of coaching the Eastern Conference All-Stars. Here's the shot of the day. Time winding down in the first. Tim Hardaway, unbelievable for the three. But the Heat trailed by 7 after 1. Third quarter, Hardaway to Alonzo Mourning for the one-handed jam here. Zoe led the Heat with 22. They were back to within 4. Early fourth quarter, now Miami actually leads by a point, but Charlie Ward goes inside to Patrick Ewing for the reverse dunk. Ewing led all scorers with 24. Knicks take the lead, and they put it away with a 16-6 run, capped by Allen Houston's 3. He finished with 17. New York wins its 14th straight at home, 95-89. Good news for the Knicks, but also good news for Doug Collins of the Detroit Pistons, because now he gets the honor of coaching the Eastern Conference All-Stars 2 weeks from today. Pete.
The intriguing aspect of Collins getting this little gig, all-star gig, is that he gets to coach Michael Jordan. And when he coached him in Chicago, there was definitely some friction between the two of them. The Pistons, behind closed doors the last month or so, have been giggling about this possibility. And despite the hugs and handshakes that Collins and Jordan have when the Pistons and Bulls meet, there is still some tension between the two.
But of course, Jeff Van Gundy may have replaced Collins on the tension list. one other final. Milwaukee beat San Antonio 94-76. Glenn Robinson leading Milwaukee with 19 points, and he also had 12 rebounds. Now let's talk about the first half of the Lakers and the Sonics, with LA leading 62-51. Let's turn to Julius Erving.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick Van Exel got them off to a good start. They got their running game in gear, and then the offensive rebounding, I think, is the main key for the Lakers. They have at least 4 different players who have gotten offensive rebounds, with Travis Knight getting 3 of those.
Pete.
One of the more amazing stories is Travis Knight. He was drafted #1 by the Bulls, last pick of the first round. They cut him immediately, so he lost about $2 million that he would have been guaranteed over 3 years. Lakers pick him up for the minimum, $247.5, and as it turns out, he'll be a free agent after this year, and he's going to wind up recouping big time.
So it's the Lakers by 11, 62-51 at the half. A reminder about our NBA on NBC doubleheader next Sunday. It starts at 12:30 Eastern Time with Showtime. The early game is regional. Most of you will see Houston at Orlando. Some will get the Knicks and the Hornets from Madison Square Garden. And the late game is a good one, a rematch of the '96 finals. The whole country sees Chicago at Seattle, their first get-together since last June. Right now, the Sonics have other things on their mind. They trail the Lakers 62-51, and we'll send it back for the second half after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential, bringing strength and stability to America's families through insurance, healthcare, real estate, and financial services.
Lakers' confidence, and more importantly, kept the crowd out of the game. And what a job Travis Knight did coming off the bench to give even more energy, rebounding and knocking balls loose.
Let's take a look at the Miller Lite halftime statistics. A look at the individual scoring leaders for the Sonics. Detlef Schrempf, the high man, 4 of 7 from the field for 12. Gary Payton starting slowly, had 9. Sean Kemp only 2 of 7 from the field for his 9 points. While the L.A. Lakers getting good work out of their backcourt, Nick Van Exel with 15 points, 7 of 12 from the field, and Eddie Jones 4 of 9 for 13. Shaquille O'Neal coming on in the second quarter, 5 of 8, 11 points in all.
And Nick Van Exel, as we said earlier in the game, likes to get going in the first quarter. He did that, only made the 1 3-pointer. You see the makes are red, the misses are blue, but Nick got into the lane quite a bit with all the double teaming of Seattle. When they would scramble out and try to recover, that left open lanes for Nick Van Exel to get in the lane.
62 points by the Lakers equals a high by the opposition against the Sonics for half this season. 62-51 the score at halftime. 57% shooting by the Los Angeles Lakers in the first half, and they out-rebounded the Seattle Supersonics 25-14.
Well, Nick Van Exel shooting just 39% on the year was brilliant in the first half. 7 out of 12, and these are Nick Van Exel type of shots, and he has improved it over the last 4 or 5 games by taking better shots. Even that runner is a shot that he is able to make, and Nick Van Exel knew coming into this ball game that he was going to have to either neutralize or outplay Gary Payton to give the Lakers a chance to win it.
And Nick has been able to work his way out of that recent slump. 8 for 15, 19 points, 12 assists Friday night against Golden State. He is the number 5 man in the NBA in assists, averaging about 9 per game. Sonics ball as this third quarter gets underway, and Payton handles against Van Exel. Lakers lead by 11. Pretty pass. Hawkins could not hit, and rebounded by Elvin Campbell. Had a very quiet 6 minutes in the first half. 3 personal fouls for Campbell. The alley-oop for O'Neal. McElvain was able to get in front of him to bother Shaquille on that shot. Schrempf for Kemp. And off the foot of Campbell, it will be Seattle ball.
And Shaq coming back to the other end of the floor, just glaring at referee Sean Carbon. He thought there was way too much contact here as Jim McElvain got beaten clearly on the play and started to back up into it. I did not see a lot of body contact. Shaq normally finishes that play.
Detlef Schrempf showing us the hook shot out of the repertoire. Opening minute, third quarter, Lakers 62 and the Sonics 51. Payton nearly had the steal from Campbell. Open shot for Jones. A three for Eddie Jones. That's his third three-pointer. 3 of 6 from downtown. He has 16.
You know, all the double teaming and scrambling that Seattle uses on defense, especially here on their home floor, will bother a lot of teams, but not the good teams who are sharp and ready for it, move the ball quickly, and the Lakers are picking it apart.
McIlvain able to get to it. Shrimp backs it up and passed on the three. Payton takes it and hits.
I don't understand why Gary struggles from behind the line. We said you'd rather see Shrimp shoot that shot. He's got to take that shot.
11-point Laker lead. And Payton comes up with it. Sonics finished strong in the second quarter. Payton penetrates. Rebounded by Ori. Hawkins and Shrimp get back as Van Exel moves down with Jones. Nice fake, and he stepped out of bounds.
Well, Detlef Schrempf, wide open, was trying to find his feet behind the three-point line. Found it, nobody guarding him. Gary Payton struggles from downtown at just 30% and does not look good shooting the ball today. That one bottomed out.
7th turnover for the Lakers. Seattle with just 2. And the foul. Van Exel picks up his second. The Sonics with a record of 17-4 here at home at Key Arena. George Karl's club has won 11 straight at home. Last loss here in Seattle, December 14th against the Houston Rockets. Now, times have changed regarding the perception of George Karl. He now appears to be a fixture in Seattle. Prior to last season, was thought he was a goner with those back-to-back first-round losses to lower-ranked teams, but he hung in, guided the Sonics to the NBA Finals last season, a 64-win campaign, a club record for Seattle. Here's Shaquille O'Neal, forced into a difficult shot by McIlvain. Payton with the head fake. Payton tried to go glass. The rebound handled by Campbell.
Terrific defense that time by Van Exel to kind of angle him off, and Robert Horry flashing over from the weak side to try to change and bother that shot.
Shaquille pulling his way. That time McIlvain did not have a chance. Lakers 67, Sonics 56. And Shaquille O'Neal has 13 points. Foul on Ori, his second.
Gary Payton is so strong in driving to the basket with either hand. You see Van Exel not panicking there and putting his hands out to push, just making him take the shot, and Robert Ori coming over to change it.
Traveling violation.
Shaquille O'Neal continues to try to get the ball tight into the lane. This time it was Detlef Schrempf in a major mismatch coming over there. Tried to foul Shaq. Not even strong enough to do it there. Shaq just bowls him over.
Excellent Jones in the backcourt. O'Neal with Campbell and Ori up front. Campbell lost the grip. O'Neal able to put him down. Eldon will say it was an assist.
He complained to the official first. Definitely will want the assist to Shaq. But Eldon Campbell is not playing with a lot of enthusiasm or a lot of life right now. And the Lakers, I know, are not happy about it.
Well, his intensity has been questioned. There were recent hints from Shaquille O'Neal that Eldon could pick it up a notch. That point was made. And foul against Campbell. That is number 4.
Eldon Campbell is going to be vital to whatever success the Lakers have throughout the rest of this regular season and come playoff time, but he really hasn't settled in to a comfortable game with Shaquille O'Neal, much as Horace Grant did the last few years for the Orlando Magic, spotting up for that 17, 18-foot shot. That might be a little bit outside Eldon's range, but he should be able to cut to the basket. He should be able to benefit on the offensive glass with all the double teaming on Shaquille O'Neal, and should have a lot of freedom defensively as far as blocking shots and rebounding. But you see how Eldon Campbell is really battling with himself right now.
Detlef Schrempf, a 78% free throw shooter, 6 of 8 from the line here this afternoon. He now has 14 points. Lakers 69, Sonics 58. 3.5 gone by in the third. At one stretch, the Lakers led by as many as 21. Jones, played by Kemp, able to shoot over him for the three.
That was good defense that time by Seattle. They stayed home with their men, forced a tough shot under pressure, but Eddie Jones still able to get it.
Sean Kemp, who has not been able to get going. That's only his third field goal. He has 11. Lakers by 12. Van Exel changed his mind, finding Travis Knight. Knight came on for Elgin Kemp as a steal by Jones. Jones, who leads the NBA in that department. Rebounded by McIlvaine. Second steal for Jones. Here's Schrempf. And the tip by Kemp.
Sean must have done something at halftime, and we have a technical foul against Detlef Schrempf. But Sean Kemp much stronger here in this third quarter with his legs, as Schrempf arguing that it was Shaquille O'Neal or somebody else who said something.
And you can watch the byplay between O'Neal and Schrempf. Not pretty. The officials better get between the two.
Yeah, you got to be very careful right now with the possibility of taunting technicals. Detlef Schrempf driving into traffic, and the crowd here was a little off balance when he let that shot go. Probably felt he was hit on it, turned to the official, and not so much what he said, but the wave of the hand. That'll get you every time, especially with a referee like Eddie Rush.
Lakers 75, Sonics 62. Van Exel allowed to penetrate, and at the last instant, it was knocked away. Last touch. Let's see, one official said last touch by Seattle, the other last touch by Los Angeles.
Well, the Sonics, like most teams, are going to force Van Exel to go to his right. It happens so much that he's getting good at it. It looked like that ball just went off. And Nick Van Exel on the play. And it's not like Nick can't go to his right. It's just that he finishes and creates so much better from left.
And a call, last touch by Seattle. Morey not able to hit from downtown. There's Hawkins, whipping by Jones. Eddie Jones thought he had some help, did not. Lakers by 11. 5 minutes in, third quarter. Shaquille O'Neal. Knight trying to stuff it home on the rebound, and a foul is called. No indication on the foul. And now it's called on Sean Kemp. 6:53 remaining. In this third quarter, it's the Lakers 75, the Sonics 64.
You think I'm gonna dunk? I unleash my reverse layup. You think I'm gonna dunk? I unfold my jump hook. You think I'm gonna dunk? I serve up my fall away jumper. You think I'm gonna dunk? Think too much. You see, this is my planet.
Precious Hotline, what's your problem?
We're stuck with skunky beer.
So it's not Budweiser?
No.
Remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
Next time, look for this.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Precious Hotline.
Could we order some Chinese?
Well, in that last play, Sean Kemp and Travis Knight about to battle for this loose rebound, and you'll see Sean Kemp grab the arm of Travis Knight, and a little bit after that, Hersey Hawkins will grab as well, but there, the hold by Kemp at the Seattle bench, trying to keep Kemp from getting that third personal foul.
But the foul on Kemp is third. No one else in foul trouble for Seattle. 4 on Eldon Campbell. And otherwise, Travis Knight is 3. Otherwise, both clubs in good shape. Eddie Jones having a terrific day. He's the high point man. 19 points in all for Jones. 4 of 7 from three-point range. 4 assists and 2 steals. Jones had been excellent in the backcourt. Knight with O'Neal and Horry up front. Knight fell down. And O'Neal ending up on top of McIlvaine. And last touch by Shaquille.
A real nice defensive job by Schrempf and Kemp in that side, making a little switch. Kemp taking the bigger Travis Knight inside instead of guarding Shaquille O'Neal. They're not going to call a lot of plays for this young man. He just lost his footing there. But great hustle by McIlvaine and Shaq to go after that loose ball.
Schrempf feeling for Ori. Hawkins, played by Jones. Hawkins drawing the foul. He knew he had Jones out of position. Eddie Jones with his second personal. Let's check in with John Dockery. John?
You know, Marv, I was just listening in on George Karl, and he was saying this game is coming down to defensive play. He likes the way his offense is flowing. He likes the way Kemp is playing, but he says they got to turn up the intensity on defense and take away some of those uncontested shots the Lakers are getting. Back to you, Marv.
All right, John. Yes, George Karl cannot be pleased with the 62 points allowed by the Sonics in that first half.
Well, Jim McIlvaine, however, is doing an outstanding job on Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq is 7 for 13 in the ballgame, but he was 4 for 4 in that second quarter when Jim McIlvaine was on the bench. And I think even the Sonics are a little surprised that McIlvaine has played him in one-on-one situations very well.
Sonics have been chipping away. The crowd getting back into it. It's a 9-point Laker lead. 6 minutes to go in this third quarter. O'Neal and McIlvaine getting entangled, and the foul on McIlvaine. That's only his first.
Well, that's what Shaq is almost impossible to guard. When he is active and moving and covering up the defender, trying to fight for that position, there's just nobody strong enough to keep him from doing that.
McIlvaine listed at 7'1", 260 pounds in his third season out of Marquette. Now the double comes with Schrempf helping out. O'Neal, good play. Jones able to save it. And again, Shaquille stopped by McIlvaine. And Kemp gets to the loose ball.
Well, two terrific plays by McIlvaine. Forced Shaq to take a tough shot. And then, once again, took the body pounding and forced the miss.
Foul or illegal defense is called on the Lakers. That's their second violation.
McIlvaine knows he's in trouble. I think that time he actually was trying to foul Shaq. Actually got a piece of the ball as he really is taking a beating. I was talking to Joe Klein before the game, now a backup center for the Lakers, and I said, how do you like to practice it so far? He says, I used to have a pretty strong chest. Now it's concave. He said, he just kills me every day.
And this the breakdown against McIlvaine. Shaquille is 2 of 10. Had no problem, as we saw earlier in the second quarter, with Terry Cummings hitting 3 of 3 over the 6-foot Cummings. Kemp gets inside and he draws the foul. It's on Knight, and that is number 4 on Travis Knight. Well, the NBA has named its 50 greatest players, and now here's your chance to pick the best of the best with help from Bill Walton. Go online to NBC.com/sports, where Bill analyzes the key factors at each position, provides a formula to help you make your decisions. It's all at NBC.com/sports. Not knowing Bill, I know his formula is very scientifically executed after hours of intensive study. The Sonics have cut it to a 6-point lead as we come up on 5 minutes remaining in the third. Ori, Van Exel for 3. And Ori able to reach for the rebound. And then fires a 3-pointer for Robert Ori. Robert Ori showing us a lot of similarities to the effectiveness that he provided as a member of the Houston Rockets.
And this is easily his best performance as a Laker, and maybe being in that starting role has loosened him up a little bit. He was more comfortable with that as a Houston Rocket. Robert Ori just very quick and very active. He's not going to do a lot of offensive rebounding in and around the basket, but loose ones and long ones like that he will get to, and just raises up and fires from downtown.
Foul on Van Exel. Lakers getting hurt. They've been in the penalty the last couple of minutes, and the Sonics doing it at the line. A hand for Jim McElvain as he is replaced by Sam Perkins. The reason that the Seattle Sonics made the deal signing McElvain as a free agent. He has performed well defensively here today. Lakers 78, Sonics 71. Seattle has gone to the line now 30 times, 26 for 30. The Lakers only 7 times. Shaquille O'Neal. And a loose ball foul against the Sonics. Joe DeRosa with the call right in front of George Karl. Foul on Kemp, that's number 4.
Well, Joe DeRosa not happy with this at all, but because that's number 4 on Shawn Kemp. We said a little earlier they argued on the 3rd personal on Shawn Kemp. He picks them up in clusters. He averages a little over 4 personal fouls a game.
Kobe Bryant checked back in. He played briefly in the first half. Here's Horry. Shaquille O'Neal getting involved aggressively, and he was fouled by Detlef Schrempf. First on Schrempf. And team foul number 4.
Now Shaq's starting to assert, and not really starting. He's been doing it to be very physical at every opportunity. That was a little bit of the emotion I was talking about early in the game. That's how he can lead this ball club, by playing in a physical fashion and with emotion.
He was tripped up. So Shaquille will go to the line. Foul on Hawkins, his first, and now Seattle is over the limit. Shaquille O'Neal has been to the line for only 2 shots, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, and only a 47% foul shooting. Well, 2 for 3 here today. The Lakers, because of the poor free throw shooting by Shaquille for the most part, are last in free throw shooting at 64%. But Shaq on fire. 3 of 4 at the line, and the Lakers extend to a 9-point lead. Just under 4 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. Schrempf wide open. Cummings. And Exo lost his balance, looking for some help.
Now you can really see the rust on Terry Cummings, who did not play in the first 2 months of this season. Knows he's not in there to do a lot of scoring, just to bang around defensively, do some rebounding, and give guys like McElvain and Kemp a little bit of a breather.
As Cummings signed as a free agent just a couple of weeks ago. Payton knocked it away, couldn't locate it. Hawkins tipping it. It's a 24-second violation. Good hands by the Sonics.
Well, they have to have good, quick hands, because Seattle right now is very small out there, and that means Shaquille O'Neal has a big advantage if the Lakers take care of the ball, if they are crisp with their passes.
Sonics always looking for the steal. They lead the league once again. They have led the NBA in that department the past 4 years. Here's Payton with a run. And the Sonics are within 7. Lakers at 1 point led by 21. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Cummings defending on O'Neal. Shaquille has been off here in the 3rd quarter. Payton putting moves on Van Exel and going all the way. Del Harris wants to talk it over. Timeout taken by the Lakers. The Sonics are down by only 5.
Well, because of the pressure defense by Seattle, making it tough to get it in, Shaquille just pushed a little bit further out than he likes to catch it. The ball rolls around the rim, but when the Sonics defend, rebound, steal the ball, they get out and run better than any team in basketball.
And Gary Payton with 10 of his 20 points here in the 3rd. Well, earlier today, the NBA All-Star Game starters were announced on Showtime of the West. John Stockton, Gary Payton in the backcourt, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shawn Kemp, Charles Barkley up front. So the Sonics represented by 2 starters, Payton and Kemp. And in the East, Penny Hardaway, although he saw limited action, able to garner the vote with Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, and Grant Hill. In just 2 weeks, the NBA's mid-season celebration takes place, the All-Star Game, in prime time right here on NBC, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. NBA All-Star Game just 2 weeks away here on NBC. And Doug Collins will coach the East All-Stars by virtue of the Knick victory over Pat Riley and the Miami Heat earlier. 95-89, Knicks beating the Heat. And now some confusion as to the call. Sean Corbin, one of the officials, saw it one way, Ed Rush another. Kick ball is the call as they confer and make the decision, so Seattle will maintain possession.
A good communication between Ed Rush and Sean Corbin as Kobe Bryant sticking that foot out, getting a piece of the ball. Some tough minutes for Kobe to be in the ball game right now. Made a bad pass to Shaquille O'Neal and has a tough defensive assignment right now.
Nice move by Detlef Schrempf. 16 for Schrempf. The 21-point lead is now down to 3 with just under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Eddie Jones rejected by Sam Perkins. Gary Payton tried to save it. It will be Laker ball with 12 on the shot clock.
Here's that Sonics pressure again, forcing the Lakers to do something they don't necessarily want to do right here. They want to get the ball inside to Shaquille O'Neal, but that pressure forced Eddie Jones to do something else.
17-6 run by the Sonics the last 5.5 minutes, and Nick Van Exel is able to silence the crowd. 19 for Van Exel. Lakers lead 83-77. Perkins changed his mind. Cummings with the shot. 6 points for the newest member of the Sonics, Terry Cummings. Ori way off. Kept alive by O'Neal. And a foul. Foul on Cummings.
Shaq keeps coming down the middle of the floor trying to establish his post position, but the Lakers are taking some bad shots. They got away with a bad one by Van Exel, a 3 which he made on the last trip. Poor shot that time by Robert Horry, but Shaq continues to work on the glass. And at the other end, the Sonics are going to pound away, and Kobe Bryant inside, matched up against Detlef Schrempf.
Shaquille is now 3 of 5 at the line. Well, John Dockery moving from near the Seattle bench to near Del Harris in the Lakers huddle, checking in on the Lakers. Here's John.
Marv, Matt was exactly right. Del Harris was imploring his team to get the ball to Shaq, but he was also talking to them about loss of tempo. No transition points. He said they got to keep up the tempo, move the ball up court a little faster. Back to you, Marv.
Thanks, John. Coming up on 1 minute remaining. In the third, the Laker lead is down to 4. Shaquille O'Neal, after the good shooting second quarter, only 2 of 9 from the field here in the third. They double up on Schrempf. Snow delivering to the corner to Payton. Kobe Bryant met by Eric Snow. Eddie Jones. Eric Fisher just checked in. Jones punched by Horry and handled by Payton. 4-on-2 developing. Schrempf gives it up. Perkins rejected. And a foul.
Oh, what a sequence. Eddie Jones got killed twice down at the end of the floor, knocked to the floor by Detlef Schrempf. But the Sonics love to get out in that open floor and charge right into that basket as even the slow Sam Perkins able to get in there and draw some body contact. But how about Del Harris? And he's had to do this all season long with young players, getting so much out of Travis Knight most of this ballgame. The first-year man out of Connecticut, and now 2 rookies, Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher, on the floor at the same time. And these are meaningful minutes, which will help these young players and the Lakers somewhere down the line.
Robert Horry called for the foul, putting Sam Perkins at the line. Detlef Schrempf replaced by David Wingate. David Wingate playing very well recently, been providing energy off the bench. 83-80 Lakers. Down to 25 seconds in the third. Eric Fisher, the rookie from Arkansas, Little Rock, handling. Lakers setting up for a final shot of the quarter. Oh! Bryant lost it off his foot. Here's Payton. Wingate. Final seconds. Wingate passed on the shot and tried to feed Cummings, and it was knocked out of bounds. So it will be Seattle ball with 3 1/10 seconds remaining in the third. And now here's Hersey Hawkins coming on for David Wingate. And Detlef Schrempf also comes on for Terry Cummings. Rich Carl wants a couple of shooters on the floor.
To spread the floor to enable Gary Payton, if he can get the ball, to penetrate and find one of those shooters.
Well, Perkins looking for the shot. Good play by Campbell to cut off the angle. But the Sonics outscore the Lakers 29-21 in the third, and they have been able to dramatically cut into what was once a 21-point lead. It is down to 3. Lakers 83, the Sonics 80 as we head to the fourth here in Seattle.
Get in there. Hey, good shot. What's the score? Game point. Hello. How about 2 out of 3?
Well, better than 17,000, a capacity crowd here at Key Arena in Seattle. And they have seen the Seattle Sonics cut into that 21-point lead. It is now a 3-point margin. The Lakers up 83-80 as this fourth quarter gets underway. Seattle and Los Angeles come in with identical records, 30-12, tied for the lead in the Pacific Division. The Sonics have won 9 of their last 10 games. Lakers with 2 straight, 11 of the last 14. For the Lakers, their best start since the 1990-91 season, when they went 30-11. Bryant shaking off Payton. And Hersey took it away from Cummings. It counts. The Sonics, they were saying, should have been offensive interference. And Rush gave the indication that the basket counted. And apparently the basket did not count. It was waved off after that initial indication. We saw it was poked home by Travis Knight. Instead, 2 free throws for Kersey.
Well, Ed Rush was the baseline official. Really had his head on the body contact, making that call. Saw the ball go through the net, but once again, good communication with the trail official, Sean Corbin, in getting that call correct.
And again, Matt, poor foul shooting by the Lakers. 7 of 13 for the line. Del Harris saying that they've lost at least 5 games because of shaky free throw shooting.
And it makes his fourth quarter management very difficult, because Shaq will be coming in soon, and he knows when the ball goes inside, Shaq will be getting hacked when he goes to the basket.
And Wingate draws the foul. Shaquille sitting it out here at the start of play of the fourth. Kersey on the foul. LA Lakers go to the line about 29 times per game. Seattle leading the way at 29.5. When you have that many opportunities, you like to take advantage. Lakers equaled an all-time low at the foul line last week in a game against Vancouver. They were 8 for 24, 33% from the line. They equaled their worst ever.
Oh, that's disheartening. The only really good foul shooters are Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Byron Scott, who's not playing at all. Kobe Bryant, a good free throw shooter, 8 for 8 last game.
Van Exel from way downtown. Right with the save, but it's handled by Snow. Wingate ahead of the field. The Sonics have taken the lead for the first time this afternoon.
All the hustle plays and good ones by Travis Knight. That was not a good one. He hustled, and in his getting the save, started a Sonic fast break.
Sonics 84, Lakers 83. Elvin Campbell with the post-up move. As you mentioned earlier, certainly more comfortable when Shaquille O'Neal is not on the floor. So Campbell had the space to maneuver.
And he is a normal fourth quarter option for Del Harris and the Lakers. They will post Campbell, keep Shaq off the ball, let him go to the offensive glass or run pick and rolls to score.
A three for Perkins. That's his second of the day, and the Sonics lead 87-85. Sam Perkins among the leaders in three-point shooting. Oh, Gary Payton looking for the steal. Now Sean Kemp checking back in. Eddie Jones also reporting back.
Well, Travis Knight has been hustling all over the place, diving, and just natural reaction to save the ball. And of course, it is at his end of the floor. Normally a good play, but when he threw it so quickly to the Seattle player, it started that break.
Van Exel open for three. Yes. Nick Van Exel gives the Lakers a 1-point lead, 22 for Van Exel. Eddie Jones replacing Kobe Bryant, who departed with 5 points. Wingate wide open. Yes. A three for David Wingate. And the Sonics lead 90-88. 9.5 to go in the fourth. Campbell forced out off the blocks by Perkins. Here's Kersey for three. And back comes Snow. Wingate slashing, handing off to Kemp. David Wingate has 7 of Seattle's 10 points in this fourth quarter. Once again, providing a lift for the Sonics. Timeout has been taken with 9:06 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, whenever Sam Perkins is out on the floor, fourth quarter, you have to stay up on him. Travis Knight way too slow. And the reason why David Wingate's so wide open on this play, everybody hugged up with Sam Perkins, left the crease for Gary Payton, get in the lane, draw the defense, and David Wingate knocks one down as the Sonic bench and this crowd really into it.
Rockets Magic or Hornets Knicks, then Bulls Sonics next Sunday on NBC.
Well, this is that playoff atmosphere that Del Harris wanted his whole team, but in particular his young players to experience. And they don't get this kind of noise at the Forum very often in Los Angeles, but you really get it big time here.
And Jerry West, of course, the Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations for the Los Angeles Lakers. Is O'Neal getting inside. And the game is tied at 90. 8.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, John Dockery for Ahmad Rashad patrolling the sidelines. Shot clock down to 5. Perkins. An excellent Jones in the backcourt. O'Neal with Knight and Ori on the front line. This match with Payton involved a moment ago with Knight. Jump ball is called.
This is what you worry about in Seattle. They will just go, run, and double team at any time. Not always in on the post. Del Harris felt that Gary Payton went in there and grabbed the arm of Robert Horry first and then tied him up. But you have to be very quick with that basketball and be strong with that pivot foot and don't get yourself in a defensive position when you have the basketball, and that's exactly what Robert Horry did.
John Dockery passing on word that Del Harris told his club a moment ago that these are the defining moments of the game. Swift gets down short, and the Sonics lead by 2. So a dramatic appeal by head coach Del Harris. 20-second timeout called by the Lakers. You can see one of the players down. Screen out and not certain who went down.
Well, once again, the Sonics in transition and the throw ahead by Gary Payton as Robert Horry coming down on the back of the foot of Detlef Schrempf on that play and going hard to the floor, and he's still down.
So it is Horry who went down right here. Whoa.
One more time as Robert Horry looked like both ankles turned on him, the right one and the left, and they grabbed that left immediately as he is in a lot of pain. As trainer Gary Vitti trying to get Robert Horry under control.
We'll take a timeout with 7:52 left in the fourth.
It's our opinion at Acura that a luxury car should be quiet. It should cradle its occupants in astonishingly soft leather and burled walnut. And with a 3.5-liter power plant, it should be anything but a Sunday drive in the park. Introducing the Acura RL, the new flagship from Acura.
It begins with a step away from the known and a step towards the unknown. It will take you to ports halfway around the world and into uncharted waters deep inside yourself. Above all, it will demand your honor, your courage, and your commitment. It's your journey. Start it in the right direction. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Hey, Dave, you going surfing?
Maybe later, dude.
Hey, Dave.
Cool.
Go for a ride sometime.
Maybe later.
Looking to warm up this winter? Come to Wendy's. Our spicy chicken is a whole breast filet seasoned with Dave's own blend of pepper and spices. It's got a spicy hit that'll make you feel warm all over.
Hey, Dave. Man, where you been? I think I was at the beach.
Come in for a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich today.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Acura, who invites you to test drive the new flagship of Acura, the RL. By the U.S. Navy. Navy, let the journey begin. And by Miller Lite, who invites you to sit back and enjoy a Miller time.
Back into Seattle with 7:52 remaining in the fourth quarter. This a moment ago. One more look at Robert Horry going down. And he has made his way with some help back to the Laker locker room. And we'll have a report as soon as we get it from John Dockery. And Horry told teammates he's all right. You saw him hobbling to the Laker locker room. Sonics 92 and the Lakers 90. Turnovers have hurt the Lakers. 12 turnovers, only 4 for Seattle. Byron Scott has come on for the first time today. Van Exel for 3, and the Lakers lead by 1. That's his 4th three-pointer. He's 4 of 11 from downtown. Van Exel going down off the rebound. And a foul against Seattle.
Oh, an interesting move here by Del Harris going small as Nick Van Exel got a wide open good look at that three-point shot instead of Jerome Kersey at the 3. And in that game early in December when Del went small, even though the Lakers won that game, they got hurt with Eddie Jones trying to guard Detlef Schrempf. We'll see if the Sonics try to exploit it.
Yeah, that Sonic foul on Kemp, so he has 5. Here's Knight. Lakers by 1 with 5 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. McElvain passing on the shot and then working his way on Knight. Rare shot opportunity for Jim McElvain. He's 1 of 4 from the field.
Excuse me, Mark, a little surprised at the last 2 possessions by both teams. Knight taking an ill-advised shot and McElvain. Those guys aren't supposed to be shooting unless wide open in these situations.
Shot clock is at 3, 2, 1. Van Exel blocked by Kemp, unloads to Wingate, followed by Scott, and a foul on Byron Scott.
The Seattle Sonics pressure once again, forcing Van Exel to his right. Shot clock winding down, in all kinds of trouble here. And 6'10" Sean Kemp gobbling that shot up, and Wingate wisely racing to the other end of the floor. And you say, well, where's the transition defense for the Lakers? But when you turn over a ball or get a shot block out that far away from the basket, it's almost impossible for transition defense to get there.
Wingate, 85% free throw shooter, but has not been to the line frequently. Now 11 of 14 at the free throw line for the 11-year man out of Georgetown, acquired from Charlotte as a throw-in in that Hersey Hawkins-Kendall Gill trade. And Wingate has really come on recently and did the job in the third quarter today. Look at the foul rundown. Kemp with 5, 4 apiece on Campbell and Knight. The game tied at 93. And Shaquille O'Neal heads back to the free throw line as Jim McIlvaine picks up the foul. Shaq 3 of 6 at the line. Let's check in with John Dockery. John?
Thank you, Marv. Robert Horry's in the locker room there. The report on him is he has a slight sprained ankle. They're taping him up, and they expect him to come back and play in this game. Back to you, Marv.
All right, thank you, John. So that is good news for the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, Shaquille line driving it. Not consistent in the approach, but for Shaq, it's been a pretty decent job at the line today. 4 of 7.
Well, he hit 2 clutch free throws in that 110-106 win by the Lakers back in early December against Seattle.
And again, Matt went with the line drive approach, but came up short on the second attempt.
You don't give you no margin for error when it is that low.
Hawkins for 3. And Knight with the rebound. Kemp has to be careful, playing with 5. Travis Knight with 8 rebounds. Lakers by 1. Nice pass. O'Neal from Jones. Shaq had the step, and the Lakers lead 96-93.
Nice play by the Lakers. Kemp was there on the rotation, but wisely did not commit his 6th and final personal foul on the play.
Payton to the left hand. Gary Payton, slow start of the first half, but has come on. He now has 22 points. The Laker lead is 1. Byron Scott. With ball movement, Jones. Shot clock at 5. Van Exel from way downtown. Driving for it, and Van Exel, upset with himself, realized he should have let it go. He touched it when the ball was on the line.
Well, the rugby scrum has everybody diving, realizing how important every possession is coming down the stretch here. As just on the line, Nick Van Exel unable to pick that loose basketball up. Travis Knight that time got himself in the corner wide open for a shot. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to get open for shots. He's got to learn from his assistant coach, Kurt Rambis, how to get yourself lost offensively and be a rebounder.
Well, Kemp tried to spin, but was stripped. So the Lakers back to the offense. They lead by 1 with 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Second meeting of the season between these two clubs. Lakers winning in Los Angeles in early December. Byron Scott with his first shot attempt. A wrestling match between Knight and Perkins, and the Sonics got the call. It's on Knight, number 5 for Travis Knight.
Looks like the Lakers have the matchup that they want inside, with Shaq going against Kemp in foul trouble. But as soon as Shaq catches it inside, he's going to get double teamed. The best way to get Shaq a possession here and possibly get that last foul on Kemp is a pick and roll type of thing where you get the Sonics defense scrambling.
Each team with 3 team fouls. Perkins putting moves on Knight. Nicely done. Did not hit. Kemp with the rebound. Kemp looking for position. Very low percentage shot by Sean Kemp.
Especially in the face of Shaquille O'Neal holding his position.
O'Neal able to get down court. Trent tried to tie him up with a basket count. No. Good play. Good play by Detlef Schrempf. Shaq thought he'd get the call, but he'll go to the line for two.
Well, Sean Kemp in all kinds of problems here. Too far underneath the basket, and Shaquille O'Neal wisely holding his position, holding those arms up, and Shaq running the floor right down the middle of the lane, and really has a good argument here, was fouled in continuation.
Well, they say a non-shooting foul. And as Van Exel set up for the shot, he stepped out of bounds. So, the Sonics get it back. 13th turnover by the Lakers. Seattle with just 5, a very low number. 3.5 remaining in the fourth. Marv Albert, Matt Goodness, John Dockery from Seattle. Good one at the Key Arena. Lakers leading by 1. The winner takes over the lead in the Pacific Division. Hawkins lost the dribble. And here's Kobe Bryant, who checked in a minute ago. Finding Nick Van Exel. Eddie Jones on the drive. Rejected and foul. Sean Kemp going for the block. And he has fouled out. That is number 6 on Kemp. So he leaves with 15 points, did not shoot well, 4 of 13 from the field. He also had 13 rebounds.
Well, this is why George Karl and the Seattle bench were so unhappy way back when Sean picked up his 3rd personal foul in the 3rd quarter, because they know it's always going to be a struggle coming down at crunch time trying to keep Sean Kemp on the floor. And Sean got off to a slow start of this game. Looked like he had the heavy legs, short on all of his jump shots, and then got it going a little bit. But he's time and time again hurts himself and the team by getting into foul trouble.
Eddie Jones now 4 of 5 at the line. John Dockery passing out a report in the Laker locker room that Robert Horry was retaped. Went down with the ankle early in this 4th quarter. At first it was thought he'd be able to return, but now the word from the Lakers, he will not return. Eric Payton is held by Eddie Jones. 2:57 remaining. In this 4th quarter, it's the Lakers 98 and the Sonics 95.
Taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Let's get real. Brakes stop your wheels, but tires stop your car. Goodyear AquaTread 2 has a deeper, wider aqua channel than the original AquaTread to sweep water away for outstanding wet traction. AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
Soon, you won't recognize me, because my New Year's resolution is to regrow my hair with Rogaine. Because now, you can get this new Rogaine starter kit, a 4-month supply for half price. So go for it, and get a real head start on the new year.
The Odyssey has a fold-away rear seat. It drives like a car. It even has 4 doors. Perfect for the family on the go.
It's hunting season, Ted! Hello!
The Odyssey from Honda.
Next Saturday on NBC, they were part of the Magnificent Seven in Atlanta. Now Olympic gold medalist Shannon Miller, Dominique Moceanu, and Dominique Dawes compete in the Reese's International Gymnastics Cup.
Then John Thompson leads his Georgetown Hoyas into Madison Square Garden for a clash with the Red Storm of St. John's. All next Saturday on NBC.
A reminder, next Sunday, NBA Showtime will return at 12:30 Eastern, leading up to a doubleheader here on NBC. Game 1, regional action, Houston Rockets and the Orlando Magic, or the Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks. They had an overtime thriller Friday night at the Hive in Charlotte. Check your local listings for the game in your area. And then a rematch of the 1996 NBA Finals as Michael Jordan and the Bulls will be here in Seattle going up against Sean Kemp. And the Sonics will be at the Key Arena next Sunday for that one. All next Sunday on the NBA on NBC Game of the Week. Sean Kemp fouling out a moment ago. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Seattle also has a 20. Sonics over the foul limit. Next foul puts the Lakers over the limit. Here's Cummings. Terry Cummings taking it to the basket. And the Sonics are down by 1 with 2:40 remaining in the fourth.
Well, he took Shaquille O'Neal on the outside. The pump fake got shot down to the play, and nobody helped inside. Del Harris going with a very young team right now. 2 rookies on the floor, Bryant and Knight.
Jones with the crossover, rejected by Puckett. Payton, 3-on-2, leading Schrempf. I think Schrempf was surprised. He was expecting contact. 1-point Laker lead. Kobe Bryant pulls it back. Being played by Detlef Schrempf. They double up on O'Neal. He finds Knight. It counts and the foul. Beautiful pass from Shaquille O'Neal off the double team and finds the rookie from Connecticut, Travis Knight. Sam Perkins called for the foul.
Oh, that little head fake by Terry Cummings got Shaq out of the play. Van Exel coming over to try to do something, and Knight trying to come over but couldn't stop Cummings. But then on the double team, Travis Knight doing a good job of finding that open lane, but a horrible foul shooter unable to complete the 3-point play.
Only a 55% free throw shooter. Lakers with a 3-point lead. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Here's Cummings for 3. Wow. Terry Cummings showing the confidence. Not bad for a guy who did not play any organized basketball for most of the season. He's tied the game at 100 with a minute and a half left in the fourth. Again, the double on O'Neal. Shot clock at 5. There's Kobe Bryant with the runner. Kobe Bryant, the 18-year-old. Out of Ardmore, Pennsylvania, the National High School Player of the Year last season has given the Lakers a 2-point lead. Perkins lost it. Jones pushed by Schrempf. And that will put Jones at the line because Seattle is over the limit.
Well, you expect some ice water in the veins of Terry Cummings, 35 years old, all kinds of NBA experience, not hesitating at all. But what about the ice water in this young man's veins? Kobe Bryant at 18 years of age, not even concerned about what the situation is. Open spread floor, takes it right to the goal. But a poor foul here by Detlef Schrempf against one of their best foul shooters, Eddie Jones. It was a fast break situation, but it looked like Detlef should have been able to get back and wait for some help. He just puts Eddie on the line.
He is a 79% free throw shooter. The Laker backcourt has come up very strong here today. Eddie Jones, 23. Nick Van Exel with 25. 1 minute left in the fourth. Lakers lead by 4. Schrempf posting up on Jones. Perkins for 3. And rebounded by Jones. Well, the Lakers led by as many as 21 in the first half. Sonics came on strong in the second, came on strong late third, but the Lakers able to recapture their stride now off the steal. Here's Payton. He cuts the foul. He gets the call on the continuation.
Well, here's one of those turnovers again. It was not out that high, but only Eddie Jones back on defense. And Payton talked about his wiry body, but very strong, able to hold on to that basketball, take the hit from Eddie Jones, and make that field goal. But keep in mind, Gary Payton does struggle from the line at 67%.
Fourth steal of the game for Payton, among the league leaders of that department. Completing the 3-point play to bring the Sonics within 1. Timeout called. 30 and 2/10 seconds to go in the fourth.
Phil gave me this shirt personally. He says he likes my moves.
Kenny gave me this shirt because he modeled his game after mine.
Well, Hill and I carpool to work every morning.
Kenny was going to give me his car, but I wanted the jersey instead.
Hill and I exchange recipes.
Look under Sprite bottle caps, and you can win free Sprite or authentic Grand Hill or Penny Hardaway jerseys. Then, make up a better story.
Kenny's my cousin.
Well, Hill played the guitar at my bar mitzvah.
McDonald's Not So Risky predictions for 1997. The Cable Man will say 11, but arrive at 6. You will desire a deluxe sandwich with fresh toppings, a soft bakery roll, and who needs 159 channels anyway? McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches, America's favorite grown-up taste.
Introducing the new Acura 3.5 RL luxury sedan. We gave it extraordinary low-end torque for responsiveness. We gave it the longest wheelbase in its class for stability and interior space. And when you get it on the road, you'll swear we also gave it dancing lessons.
McDonald's Not So Risky predictions for 1997. At some point, you'll be put on hold. At some point, you'll crave an Arch Deluxe, fresh toppings, a soft bakery roll, and no waiting for the next available operator. McDonald's Arch Deluxe, America's favorite grown-up taste.
Next Sunday, doubleheader action on the NBA on NBC Game of the Week. First, Akeem, Clyde, and the Rockets face Penny and the Magic, or the Knicks host the Hornets. Then, finally, a rematch of last year's finals. Michael Jordan and the NBA champion Bulls face Sean Kemp and the Sonics. The NBA on NBC, next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Now, Gary Payton getting off to that slow start in the first half. Not much involved, but really coming on in the third quarter, getting 11 points there as he started taking the ball to the basket, hitting the open three-point shot. And then a major play coming down the stretch here off the turnover by Nick Van Exel. Open floor situation, using his hand strength, able to catch and finish the three-point play.
Down to 30 and 2/10 seconds remaining in the fourth. Lakers with the ball. They lead by one. Lakers have 2 timeouts left. Seattle 3 and 20. Both clubs are over the foul limit. Kobe Bryant remaining on the floor. Hit a key bucket a moment ago. Putting the move on Denver Shrimp. And was blocked on the reverse attack. And apparently ended up in the hands of Shrimp, but his foot was on the line, and the Lakers will get it back. Shrimp arguing the call.
Well, it's supposed to be a pick and roll play with Shaquille O'Neal, but Kobe didn't even look for it. Saw the opening on the baseline, drove into traffic, got the ball snuffed cleanly, as he is in all kinds of trouble here with 4 Sonics, but it was clearly off Seattle.
Well, apparently he came from out of bounds and then stepped inbounds, so the call is it will be Laker ball with 20 and 9/10 seconds to go in the fourth.
This is Dick. Dick is a creative superstar and the man behind the advertising you're about to witness. We gave Dick a 6-pack of Miller Lite and a blank piece of paper and asked him to create a Miller Time concept that beer-loving people would like. This is what he did.
Adios, amigo. Adios, my friend. The road we have traveled has come to an end. Adios, amigo. Adios, my friend.
This has been a Miller Time presentation by Dick. Thank you for your time.
What are you doing?
I'm practicing my moves for the NBA team-up celebration.
But you're not performing.
I'm not?
I don't think so, Ahmad. I'm performing.
Live on February 8th, the NBA Team-Up Celebration Show, hosted by Ahmad Rashad and Willow Bay, with performances from Shaq, Groove Theory, and Quad City DJs, appearances by LL Cool J, Brandy, Grant Hill, and a host of all-stars. Saturday, February 8th at 12 noon Eastern on NBC.
You don't want to miss this one.
From John Grisham, best-selling author of A Time to Kill and The Firm.
A man has been murdered, yet this boy remains silent.
You talk, I'll kill you. Oscar winner Susan Sarandon.
Why should he talk if we can't protect him?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Have we played enough games here?
And ER's Anthony Edwards in the network premiere event.
I'm scared.
The Client, NBC next Sunday.
Well, for the Seattle Supersonics, another test against one of the elite teams, as we mentioned earlier. 0 for 5 in that department, beaten by the Lakers earlier this season in L.A., beat twice by the Rockets, twice by the Jazz. Lakers by 1, 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant with 8 on the shot clock, gets it back to Nick Van Exel, down to 5. Sonics don't want to foul. Van Exel with the shot. Rebounded by the Lakers. Bryant, I don't know why he put it up. That was risky. And apparently, Seattle was able to take possession and call for time. Why would Kobe take that shot?
Why did he take the last one? Because all he knows is he wants to play basketball, and when he has the ball in his hands, he's going to try to make a play. The guy is 18 years old. What in the world is he doing in this league and in this game? It's because he has unbelievable talent, no fear, all kinds of courage and confidence, and he's just going to do what he does and what he did so well at Lower Merion High School.
Well, with seconds remaining in a 1-point lead, the idea is to dribble out the clock, but he forced the issue, and now Seattle does have the ball, but only 0.8 of a second remain.
Well, which is plenty time enough to catch and shoot a basketball. As Del Harris is saying, no, please, hold the basketball. Throw it back out, but the Lakers really got a break with that loose ball being knocked all over the place, which took precious seconds off the clock, as Nick Van Exel saying, what are you doing? George Karl making sure his team got the quick timeout, and the Sonics have the good shooters from the perimeter in Detlef Schrempf, Hersey Hawkins, and Sam Perkins.
The Sonics able to battle back from 21 down to take a 2-point lead in this quarter, but the Lakers overall have hit 12 three-pointers. They've had the hot hand most of the way, particularly in the first half. They've had the advantage off the boards. Lakers lead 104 to 103. 0.8 of a second remaining. It has to be catch and shoot. And now the lay-up game is taken by the Lakers. Del Harris wanting to get a look at what Seattle is doing. Detlef Schrempf complaining that it should be getting more space. It will be catch and shoot, but Schrempf couldn't find anyone, and he is forced to call for time.
Well, the Sonics taking way too much in getting into this kind of play to get somebody open.
So we will take a break, back after these messages and a word from your local station.
We've got thousands of pieces coming at us.
It travels 1,000 miles a minute, and nothing on Earth can stop it.
4 minutes left until impact.
In the last few seconds, all they can do is take cover. In 3 weeks,
Don't move!
the sky is falling. Asteroid, NBC Sunday in 3 weeks.
If you're concerned about hair loss, flatter yourself at Midwest Plastic Surgery Center, Des Moines.
Our engineers gave it the largest interior in its class. They made room for the biggest engine available and specified the longest wheelbase. Then they added one more surprise, the taut, precise steering feel of a sports sedan. So when Sport Truck Magazine named the new Dodge Dakota Sport Truck of the Year, we were honored, but not surprised. The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
The mystery of the blinking rings. And now, my finest illusion.
Voila! Empty! Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, no, please don't get up. You're too kind. Thank you. It's not necessary for you to...
Got milk?
Ow!
Only one station has Tiffany O'Donnell. News Center 13, your 24-hour news source.
0.8 of a second remaining. 1 point Laker lead. Schrempf finding Hawkins for the shot. And the Los Angeles Lakers have defeated the Seattle Supersonics in a high-flying, hard-fought game here in Seattle. That's the end of the Seattle win streak at home. They had won 11 straight. And the Lakers now on top in the Pacific Division with a record of 31-12. The Sonics at 30-13. A terrific victory for the Lakers. A look at that last shot opportunity.
Well, the defender, Travis Knight, was taking away the top of the floor, and that enabled Schrempf to get a good pass to Hersey Hawkins, popping into that left corner, and he got an excellent look that just rimmed out.
All right, let's check in with John Dockery. John?
Shaq, how would you describe this game?
The game was an up-tempo game. We had a big lead. We lost it. However, we kept our poise, we kept our focus, and we came out here with a big win.
What does it mean to the team to come here against a good team for first place in a hostile environment, a young team to win?
I mean, usually when a team goes to the line 40 times and, the other team only goes to the line 20 times, the home team is supposed to win. But, like I said, we kept our focus and we kept our poise.
I have to ask you this. It's Super Bowl Sunday. You're a guy who spent some time in near New Orleans. Who do you like in the game?
I'm going to have to go with the Cheeseheads.
You are?
Yeah.
Big?
It's not big, just a win. But,
Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. So Shaq goes with the Packers on Super Sunday. 22 points, 11 rebounds for Shaquille. Nick Van Exel, the high man, with 25. Gary Payton with 25, 16 in the second half. Final score, Lakers by 1 over the Sonics. Lakers lead in the Pacific. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, NBC presents a movie doubleheader. First, it's Doc Hollywood, followed by National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. To John Dockery and Matt Dukas, I'm Marv Alvis saying so long from Seattle.
The NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, Notre Dame football, the PGA Tour, Wimbledon, the USGA Championships, and the 2000 and 2002 Olympic Games, all on America's sports leader, NBC.